I'm 43 now, but this happened back when I was 23. It was the summer I took a job as a night security guard at an amusement park in the Midwest. Not a big one, just a regional place off the highway. Kind of place where you had families during the day, teenagers at night, and nothing but empty rides and humming lights after closing. It was my first job working nights. At first, I actually liked it. It was quiet, predictable. You walk your routes, check the gates, make sure no one's trying to sneak in after hours. Pretty easy gig. The only thing that felt off was one of the food stand guys. His name was Rob, and I noticed him on my first day. He ran one of the smaller stands near the carousel. Hot dogs, nachos, drinks, nothing special, but he stood out because he didn't act like everyone else there. Most seasonal workers were loud, joking around, killing time. Rob wasn't like that. He barely talked. When he did, it was short, direct. Like he was answering a question you didn't even ask. The first thing he ever said to me was, "You're on nights, right?" I said, "Yeah," and he nodded like he already knew that. Then he said, "You'll see things people miss." I figured he meant drunk teenagers or people hopping fences, stuff like that. At the time, it didn't bother me. The first real incident happened about a week in. The park had closed and I was doing a routine walk past the food court area. Most of the stands were shut down, cleaned, and locked. But Rob's stand light was on. I walked over and saw him inside. Not cleaning, just standing there, looking out toward the empty park. I knocked on the side and told him we were closed. He didn't react right away. Then he turned and said, "I know." No urgency, no apology, nothing. I asked if he needed help locking up. He just said, "I'll get it." So I kept moving. It wasn't a big deal, but it stuck with me because it didn't feel like a normal interaction. After that, I started noticing him more. He had a habit of being around when he shouldn't have been. A couple nights later, I saw him walking near one of the rides, well after closing. No uniform on, just regular clothes. I stopped him and asked what he was doing. He said he was just finishing up. I asked him what department he worked for because food staff wasn't supposed to be out here after hours. He just said, "I help out where I'm needed." And then he walked off before I could press him even more. I mentioned it to one of my supervisors the next day. They told me Rob worked for food service, and that was it. No maintenance, no night access. They said if I saw him out of bounds again, I should let them know and report it, and so I kept an eye on him. Over the next month or so, things just kept happening. Nothing dramatic, just small things that didn't add up. I'd see him near restricted areas or walking alone beside rides. Once I saw him standing near the employee entrance talking to someone in a car. The car left quickly when I got close. Another time I noticed him watching a group of younger employees a little too closely, not interacting with them, just observing them. None of it was enough to report as anything serious, but it all felt wrong. Like he wasn't really there to do his job. Then there was the night of the accident. It was late June. One of the rides, the log flume, had a malfunction. A sudden stop mid-ride. People got stuck. A couple minor injuries, nothing fatal, but it was chaotic. My job was to help keep people back while maintenance and paramedics handled it. While I was posted up near the fence line, I saw someone on the other side of the restricted area. Rob. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't helping, he was just standing near the control panel looking at it. Not panicked, not confused, focused. Like he was studying it. I called out to him, but he didn't respond. Then one of the supervisors came over, and when I looked back, he was gone. Just gone. No one else saw him. That's when I reported everything. Every sighting, every weird interaction. Management said they'd look into it, but I could tell they didn't think it was serious. Seasonal jobs get weird people all the time. A few days later, I noticed something else. Rob didn't seem to be working regular shifts anymore. His stand would be open some days, closed others, no pattern. I asked one of the other food stand workers about him. They said he mostly kept to himself and sometimes swapped shifts last minute. No one seemed to know much about him and no one seemed concerned. The last time I saw him, it was late, close to the end of my shift. I was near the employee exit gate when I saw him standing there. Not leaving, just standing. Like he was waiting for someone. I walked up and told him the park was closed and he needed to head out. He looked at me and said,
"You notice more than the others."
That immediately put me on edge. I asked him what he meant. He didn't answer directly, he just said,
"Things happen here. People don't always track everything."
Then he nodded toward the parking lot.
"People come and go."
There was something about the way he said it that didn't sit right. Not like he was talking about employees, like he meant something else. I told him management was already aware of him being out of bounds, that if I saw him again, I'd escalate it. He just smiled. Not nervous, not defensive, just calm. Then he walked out through the gate and into the dark parking lot. I quit about a week later. I didn't feel safe there anymore, not because of the job, but because of him. It felt like something was happening that I didn't understand, and no one else was paying attention, so I left. Moved out of state not long after, and for years, I didn't think about it much. Until I saw his face again. It was on the news. This was about 6 years later. A man had been arrested in connection with multiple disappearances across several states, mostly tied to temporary jobs, seasonal work, and traveling locations, carnivals, fairs, small amusement parks, places where people come and go. The news report said his name was Edmund Hale, but the photo, it was him, no question. Same face, same expression, same creepy stare locked in his eyes. The report said he had been using fake employment records to get hired at different locations, sometimes food service, sometimes maintenance. He didn't stay long in one place, and in several cases, employees had gone missing shortly after working shifts near him. People no one noticed right away. Seasonal workers, new hires, the kind of people who don't always have someone checking in on them. I don't know if anybody went missing at the park while I was there. If they did, no one told me. But I keep thinking about the things I saw. Him near restricted areas, him talking to cars at the edge of the property, him watching people, and that night at the log flume standing near the controls like he understood them better than anyone. What bothers me most is how normal it all seemed at the time. Nothing he did was extreme, nothing that forced anyone to act, just enough to feel wrong, not enough to stop him. I still drive past places like that sometimes, amusement parks, fairs set up in open fields, and every time I do, I think about how easy it would be for someone like him to blend in. A name on a schedule, a face behind a counter, someone who's always around, but never really noticed. And I think about that last thing he said to me. People come and go. At the time, I thought he meant employees. Now I'm not so sure.